This week on DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon.
And that's mountain reedbuck hunting. We finally located a really big Nyala bull. Holy cow, I'm speechless.
DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon is presented by DSC, Conservation, Education, and Protecting Hunters' Rights. And by Ruger, Rugged, Reliable Firearms. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Convergent Hunting Solutions, where experience, innovation, and passion meet. Tecumate Seed. And by Ripcord.
It was a little over 10 years ago that I was bitten with the African bug. I mean, they always say, and it is true, I'm living proof of it, that if you ever get a chance to go over to Africa and hunt, go on safari, it will call you back time and time again. And for me, it's called me back probably 30 plus times now. But it all began for me in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa, down along the Indian Ocean coastline near the port in the city of Port Elizabeth. And I was really truly looking forward to going back to that area and hunting with Walma Kemp and Africa Anyway safaris. In returning to this region, I was coming back to specifically look for a few species that are native to the Eastern Cape and Western Cape provinces, and that is the mountain reedbuck that you can find in the Karoo Desert Mountains.
What we're going to do is, you see that bush line over there? We're going to walk to the left of that and look into all these little hollows. Those males will hopefully still be lying down or feeding on those sides of those slopes. So
we got a little walking to do.
Up to.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's do this.
There's some reedbuck over there, 4 of them. Top of that ridge over there, there's 4. Oh, there's 2, 3, 4, 5 there, 4.
So it didn't take very long for us to find mountain reedbuck this morning. And the issue is we've got a group of 5 in the wide open on top of the ridge that may be pretty hard to approach. And we thought we may have a good plan because we've got 4 or 5 spotted right down here on the edge of this ridge, but now there's 2 on the opposite side of the ridge. So,
well, luckily the wind's in our face, so we should maybe try and see if we can hug this brush as much as we possibly can, and then see which ones we can actually walk up on without them spooking out of this area.
Spotted 465 yards across this valley. I mean, it's wide open if you can see. There's not a lot we can do to close any distance. He's bedded, so he doesn't know that we see him. He's completely comfortable. So we've sent our tracker off to the right here and down the valley just to hopefully that he'll spot the tracker walking, he'll stand up. I've got a solid rest here. It is a long shot, but I do feel confident I've got a dope on 465 and 485 yards, so.
I see one of those females just start walking further down. to the right of
Yeah, she is walking. She's walking down towards
Yeah.
her.
There the female goes.
I'm only going to get one shot, so
Look, the female just moved further up the hill. There she goes. There the three females go. He's getting up. There he goes.
he's
Yep.
up.
Okay. Ah, he's
Stop. Dang it.
gone.
And that's mountain reedbuck hunting. He stood up, but he didn't. He stood up, and stood for about 2 seconds, and bolted and took off running. Can't always be easy. Can't always be easy.
This segment of DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon is brought to you by Convergent Hunting Solutions, where experience, innovation, and passion meet.
Can you see the ram?
Yeah, he's the one far right. He's the one on the far right,
Right
standing
of the group.
completely broadside.
Standing broadside, yeah.
That's him right there.
Orange neck and to him. I think we need to get on the other side of the bush for me to get a
Yeah, I think
better
that
shot.
might be a better angle. We can get to the other side there.
Got the orange neck on him, looking at us. We're looking this direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the other side.
Yeah, Black, I think this is a better angle from here.
Yeah, I think if I can sit down where I can use one knee to rest my right elbow on, if it's possible.
Try and get yourself a nice spot over here, then I'll get Elvis to come in and try and brace it with the shooting sticks. So get yourself comfortable first. Get Elvis to hold that for you. Right, on your knee.
A little higher. There you go.
Right back to 210, one on the far right.
Just gotta calm down.
Just calm down. Just calm.
You ready?
Yep. Top stuff. Good shot, good shot, good shot.
I'm gonna tell you what, Kempy and I have climbed some mountains. I've had a rough go chasing these guys.
They have been giving us the runaround.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, bud, after all that hard work,
Yeah.
paid off.
If I can get up here. Oh, rifle's clear. Fantastic. And he won't be too hard to recover.
Good stuff.
Let's go see him.
All right, let's
go
be
see
off.
There he is, Kempy. Make this Ruger safe. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's a Reedbuck. Holy cow. I told you.
Yeah?
When I looked through the scope, he was taller, longer than his ears. And I know that's a reference point, but
Yes.
he's a solid inch over those ears. And look how he hooks forward.
He just curls absolutely beautifully. This is a nice old ram. This is what we were looking for.
Absolutely.
All those other trips that we went on.
We've had our shares of ups and downs hiking around here in the Karoo Desert looking for one, and I think we found one that would be pretty hard to top.
I can tell you one thing, we did really, really well. Great shooting.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
All
Look how beautiful.
came together nicely.
You know, in the hair, it gets cold here in this part of Africa.
That it does.
You know, so it's a long hair.
Now
really
that's
thick
actually why
fur.
now this morning when we stopped on that ridge, we actually stopped in the shadow side of the ridge and we
Yeah.
actually glassed the sun
Yeah.
hang, and that's when we actually spotted them from quite a ways off, and then obviously everything worked out well. approach and actually getting within range. You got him, bro?
Yeah, I got him. Absolutely beautiful.
I just love the way that he calls forward. And he's got quite a big call, which obviously helps.
Right. I think a lot of people back home, you know, that dream about coming over here to Africa and hunting don't think about mountain hunting quite so much, you know, and this is not quite the mountain hunting as far as a stone sheep or something like that back in North America, but you got to be able to walk, you got to be able to climb.
Especially now for these species like this, the mountain reedbuck, and then obviously with these cousin, if you want to call it that, the vol reedbuck, that's even higher up.
Even higher up.
That's quite a bit of walking and quite long range shooting when it comes to the vol reedbuck.
Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more happy than that. And do it with you guys here at African Way Safaris and with you, Mr. Kempe.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's been a great experience. Elvis, thank you, my friend. Lots of fun. Let's get him off the mountain and get some pictures of him.
This segment of DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon was brought to you by Ripcord.
After a successful mountain reedbuck hunt, Walma and I decided to travel to another one of his concessions about 3 hours away to hunt in Nyala. Now, I'd hunted in Nyala before up in the Zulu area of South Africa, but for me, this was going to be a first time to hunt the beautiful spiraled horn species down in the Eastern Cape near the Indian Ocean.
Beautiful rough country here. I think, would you say the plan's going to climb up this ridge here and glass down into these bowls? Is that what you said?
We saw a female just down in one of these little bowls, yeah. Normally the bulls normally run with the cow, so we'll get up high and look into this thick speck, as we call it. There's this like a succulent tree that you see with the light green.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get some height so we can actually see that. It's nice early in the morning, the sun's shining on the side of the hill, so
They ought to be coming out the sun themselves.
hopefully we can see some.
Let's go.
Right, let's go. I just want to glass better here. There's two females in that bull.
Two females and a young bull. Oh, there they go. Two females and a young bull were right there. They just swooped out of that bottom. They didn't really run that far. Stop, there they go. They're going up the ridge on the other side. The idea is to just keep climbing as high as we can to get an advantage, to be able to look into each one of these bottoms.
Right, I think let's turn back and go back to the vehicle. I think that's the only three that was in this area over here. I've now checked all these speck and everything over here, and there's absolutely nothing moving.
We finally located a really big and yellow bull down here on this flat. It's really thick. It's probably going to be close. We just got to keep the wind right. Can't tell if he's by himself or if he's got a little group of cows with him, females, but they've been glassing all morning long. We finally have found them now.
Here he is.
There he is walking.
Get up right here. Go. Alice.
I don't have a shot. I don't have a shot.
128 yards, but there's no shot.
There's no shot.
He's just walking away from us. Can you just move a little bit closer? Just put that bipods on.
That yellow bull's rocking across this flat pretty fast, and I want to get to him before he gets to the mountains. Right there. He's walking right in. yard. He just ran off.
Oh, hartebei.
Just ran, yeah.
As jy plek hierdie kant. Nee.
This is tough. This is a really big and yellow bull. We've been hunting all morning.
Wind straight towards him.
And the wind's blowing right to him, and he just winded us and bolted.
Closed captioning for DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon provided by Drake Non-Typical. Take a stand. DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon is presented by Nature Blinds, Drake Non-Typical, Trek, boots for the trail less traveled, Bino Dock, finally what a cup holder should be, Tracking Point, and by Half Power Auto Group.
Right there, looking at us.
Yep. Can you get a shot there or not?
No, I want to see his head.
Maybe get up to here. We might get a shot. I'm not sure. Slowly move.
Let's just move real slow.
To the right of that tree. See there he's standing.
So he's standing right here, to the left of this dead tree in front of us.
Going up. Gonna follow that other one.
I have no shot.
Yeah, no shot there. No shot. Here comes the young one out. There he comes. There he comes.
Yeah, he's gonna come up to the right. There he is right there. He's right there.
Elvis, get him back.
You're on him?
Yes, that's it. It's a bit of brush.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you can maybe go through the brush there.
God, I'm gonna try to neck shoot him. That's all I got.
Just go down into the brush there.
That's so thick, man. Let's shoot him in the neck.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Straight on.
I neck shot him. How much more stressful can that get?
Huh?
Yours up. Sorry about that. That was a risky shot, but I just pulled up above the bush and shot him right in the throat.
Perfect. But he went straight
This is a
down.
magnificent and Nyala bull that we've actually been glassing for all morning long. We've had a hard time finding him. It's extremely thick over here in the Western Cape. The good thing is we got to him before we got to the mountain. He got to the mountains.
Well done. Well, we're going to walk up there and we'll chat
Thank
from
you,
there.
my friend. Thank you.
Good job, Black.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Let's go see what we got. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm gonna set that down right there. Holy cow, Kemp.
Oh man, that is never.
Look at how he flares out here on this side.
Man, just the cape. Everything on this animal is just absolutely.
I knew he was big, but I didn't know he was this big. I mean, you know, we couldn't get a good look at him. I mean, the brush, we didn't have a good shot in the sun. I was looking right into the sun a few times and could just see the horns shining and could tell that he flared out at the top. But absolutely, to me, they're the most beautiful of the spiral horn species, just because of the capes, the chevron.
Just the markings, just the general markings.
Absolutely.
You know, those orange socks on the legs and then the long shaggy coat coming all the way down with a big old chevron on the nose. But I mean, this bull over here has got everything. It's got the flare, it's got nice and heavy, a lot of character on the horns. And if we open up the mouth, I think there won't be much. Yeah, there's
Look at
absolutely
that.
nothing left. This is the bull
His
that
teeth
would
are
have.
worn down to the ground, all the way down to the gum.
Yeah, this one would have
Look at
maybe had another 6 months or so in him.
Unbelievable. Look at the character he notches out of his horns. And he's heavy too, you know it?
All the way up, and then the nice ivory tips. But I mean, this is not common to have a bull, and a Nyala bull especially, that flares like that. We normally get them where they just come up straight, but this one's got it all. Got the ivory tips, and just flares magnificently.
Well, I tell you what, you know, I think on a Nyala bull like this, you almost have to preserve such a special trophy in the memory of this hunt. You've got to mount these animals in a life-size setting, because the cape, because of the mane, it's kind of hard to see because he's rolled over on his side, but he's got a lot of hair that stands up on top of his back that we'll try to show here in a second. But the long mane down his neck, you know, and the markings on their legs.
And then obviously this big old tail that everybody always talks about.
Yeah.
Big old white tail.
Unreal. Unreal.
Well, I think what we do is let's get him propped up for some nice pictures, and then we can...
I can't thank you again.
Well done, man. It's a good shot.
I'm speechless.
Good shot. Good stuff.
Unbelievable.
With a successful mountain reedbuck and Nyala hunt behind us, this 10-day safari in the Eastern Cape with Africa Anyway Safaris is just getting started. Next week, join me as I go after bushbuck and waterbuck along the Indian Ocean shoreline.